Hey guys, I wanted to show you my latest board game pickup. The Yawning Portal. Managed to pick it up for $15. Is it a bargain or does it really belong in the clearance bin? Let's find out, eh? Let's crack the hood open and have a look at the contents. You can hear there's quite a bit in there.
Okay, the first thing I want to show you is that this actually didn't come in shrink. There is a, what do you call, sleeve on it. So we have to untuck these. And that will slide away. So what you'll find is the packaging on this very environmentally friendly. All the cards were packaged together with paper, like bound by paper, so there was no plastic in terms of packaging, which I know I can get behind that environmentally friendly sort of way of doing things. Let's have a look inside. So we've got rulebook. Looks like it's a fairly simple game. There's not a lot of pages there. We've got a few different tiles that we'll be playing on. Whoop, there goes one. Whoop, okay, and we've got some cards. Oh, actually, those are cardboard tiles. Okay, cardboard tiles there. Right, we've got a whole bunch of these plastic little bits and bobs. There goes one. And over here, huge deck of cards, which I have no idea what they do yet. We'll be finding that out in a moment. And in here, we've got gems. And this is quite nice. Like, this component quality is really good. I was very impressed the first time I saw this. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to learn the rules. You're probably seeing a bit of a quick view of all that going on now. I'm learning the rules and I'm going to be playing the solo mode and sort of giving you my feedback afterwards. Okay, so what you're seeing here, there are 4 cardboard tiles that are beneath the player board, and those are your actions. So to fulfill your actions, you do all the actions that are on that tile and then you're flipping it over. And the actions are different on the back. And you can only get that other side again once you complete that action and flip it over. And sometimes you don't always want to do that particular action, which for reasons I'll get into a bit later. So actions allow you to place food, swap food around, place cards on the board, or even remove them. Cards are the patrons who have come to eat at your restaurant. You want to match the symbols on the card with the food that's on the table to earn gems. If you complete all the requirements of the card, it will flip over. Now, this is really important because we want those cards face down. They allow you to get points. So they act like a multiplier for all the gems that you've collected. For example, if you have 3 of those face down yellow cards, then all those yellow gems, they're going to be worth 3 points each, right? So if you're favoring a particular color, you want lots of those cards flipped down. The end game is triggered when all the spaces are filled on the very ends of the food track. So there's also potential to end the game very, very early, which is pretty cool. There are some contracts that you can fulfill, some kind of bonus objectives that can give you extra points. So there's something to be mindful of as well.
All right, so I had a quick game, the solo mode anyway, and I'm ready to tell you about what I think. I think it's interesting. It's come across as a bit of a puzzle sort of game, but there's a few sort of things that really change up that game. So like I was showing you in that really quick run through of my play, there are food tokens that are going to be showing up on your board, and the cards that you're playing, you want to match them up with the character cards that you're playing. The trick is, though, that you don't have complete control over all your actions. So your actions are dictated by these small little tiles that are in front of you, and you're flipping them over to activate them. And you have to do all the abilities on there. And some of them you don't necessarily want to do. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So when the game gets triggered, the end game is when all the food tokens completely fill the row, or I should say they fill the ends. If those end slots of the row are completed, then you finish the round. Every other player gets another go, and then that's it. So you might not want the game to end early, but you really want to do something with a particular tile. Like, oh, I really want to swap some food around so I can complete one of the patron's orders. But to do that, I have to place another food, and I don't want to place that food. So that can be really tricky. Sometimes you have to delete a card from the board, and you might not want to. You might have a lot of face down cards that are really beneficial to you, but you're stuck. You want to activate this particular ability, and you have to get rid of another card before you can play a new one or something like that. So that's really interesting. Some of the differences between the multiplayer and the solo were that instead of being able to draw from 4 different colored decks, all the cards were shuffled in. So you lost a lot of autonomy you lost a lot of control that way, I should say. And you had to, you can't predict what's happening, but you're trying to make the best out of your situation. It's a bit tactical in that way. And the objective cards that you're trying to complete, it's really cool. They were on the board, so you can see what they were, but as the food filled up the row, if they reached a certain point, those objective cards would get knocked off the table. And if you didn't earn them before that, you would miss out. So that's interesting. I've never seen that before. I thought that was really cool. I haven't played the multiplayer version of this yet, but as I was playing that solo, I was thinking about the different things that could come up. Like, for instance, there's a little bit of take that potentially. You could be deleting cards that other people really want, right? You could be swapping food around to kind of annoy people or that kind of thing. So I can definitely see a little bit of that, or just rushing the game to an end because you don't want someone to keep scoring points. Or you can see, they're amassing a lot of gems in a particular color, so you get rid of the cards that are multiplying those points for those players. So that's cool. There's a lot to sort of play around with, and it seems like the game can go very, very quickly, particularly if you're all placing food on the same track. So that track's going to fill up real fast. So the game's going to be very quick. So yeah, interesting. At the very least, a very interesting game. I'm going to give you my rating after my first impression. We're going to go with either a buy, try, or burn. And I think I'm going to go with try. I think this is a game worth trying out, particularly if you found it cheap like I did. I think I'll be hanging on to it for a little while, give it a few more plays, see if it will stay in the collection. For the meantime, it will be. I'm finding it enjoyable enough that I'll be exploring that solo just a little bit more. But yeah, interesting. And that's my impression. So thank you for watching. If you could subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out. Please do that. And until next time, see you later.